out of them. Eric Crocker's got a big smile on his face because the San Francisco 49ers took Danny Gray, a receiver from SMU, who can flat out fly, Croc, 4.3 speed. And we were just talking about him going to dinner the other night. You think that shows up on tape?
Well, I think the deep speed, straight line speed does. I think he can do a better job of playing faster throughout his routes. The short area quickness to be able to run away from guys is there. But I think he can add a little bit of suddenness to his game, to get off the press coverage, things like that. But you watch him against a guy like Marcus Jones. I thought he looked terrific, being able to kind of spin him around sometimes in space, catching the deep contested catch ball down the right sideline. I like parts of his game. Still think he can learn to play a little bit faster to his 40-yard dash speed.
Croc, you want to talk to Brian?
I do.
Let's talk to Brian Peacock
from this one.
from Locked On 49ers. He is with Kai right now.
We got to check in with Brian, right? Now, obviously, we've heard Croc weigh in on this. Now, where do you fall with Danny Gray, wide receiver at SMU, coming in here at this pick?
Oh, wait, hold on a second. I got to.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
That's my guy.
There you go.
So,
You're both
the thing
shaded
about Danny Gray is it's all about speed. And Croc really nailed the breakdown there with Danny Gray. It's a stride. He's got that stride. It reminds me, you got to go back a ways. It reminds me a little bit of John Taylor. He was like all legs, big butt, long legs, and he had this speed, and guys didn't catch him from behind. Danny Gray has a little bit of that, and I think there's some work to be done as far as routes, but clearly the 49ers were looking for someone with speed, and he has that legit track speed, and he just runs away from guys with that stride and that legitimate 4.3 speed.
Well,
So
Peacock, where do you think he fits in? What do you think he fits in with the current group of guys?
He sorry, I can't see it too good there, Croc. He developmental player. I think he's somebody that can he make an appearance on special teams? He's clearly, battling for the 3-4 role, I think, immediately with the 49ers, but there's always been one guy with crazy speed on the 49ers roster. And they've had that guy with Kyle Shanahan for a while now. And even if just a role player, I think Kyle Shanahan likes to know that he has someone on the field with legitimate 4.2, 4.3 type of speed. And now Danny Gray is that guy for the 49ers here at 105. And we'll see if he can make an impact, and we'll see how he battles. But I would say year one, probably shouldn't expect more than being just a package player and someone who's competing with Juwan Jennings for that number 3 role.
All right, Croc, I need my little cornerback.
All
I
right,
got to
you
talk
can
to
have it back.
Brian. You got Peacock and Williamson. Obviously, you've been keeping an eye on everything. What are some of your highlights from the first round?
Oh man, what the Baltimore Ravens are doing is sort of frustrating. Like, you love it, but at the same time, it's like, come on, man. And does it just happen to fall perfect for them every year? And then they make a pick, and you're like, oh, well, that guy's going to be great. That's a perfect selection. And you see it again all the way in round 3 with Travis Jones. He had no business being as late as he was of a selection in round 3. I'm kind of disappointed that the Packers eventually took a wide receiver, because I wanted to see Peter Squirm a little bit more, but I thought that was a nice pick of Watson. And then speaking of wide receivers, a little bit of a fall for George Pickens.
Yep.
And the Steelers are another team. When the Steelers draft a day 2 wide receiver, they turn out to be great. And so and I already thought he was falling a little bit too far. Then you see the Steelers come in and swoop George Pickens up, and you start to think, oh man, they might have found themselves another star receiver there in Pittsburgh.
Such a quirky little draft, so there's a lot of stuff you guys are going to touch on. Peacock and Williamson, obviously, wherever you get your podcasts, they'll go more in depth with everything that we've covered here today. And going into day 3 tomorrow, crazy, we're just about done here. So we got to wrap things up, and I'll toss it back over to you, Pete, and the guys on the couch.